Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things running through a common sense lens. And you know, it was one of them situations where, like, I grew up with the Harry Potter books, right? I started reading them in like middle school and like finished them all the way out, like up until like my freshman year in college. And like it was one of those situations where I grew up with these books, right? I absolutely loved them. I'm not a big fan of the movies, especially post like not Chamber of Secrets, but Goblet of Fire, because like Dumbledore doesn't get angry. Obviously, no peeves, no peace. So I got a lot of issues with those movies. So when HBO announced that they were going to do a series that was going to be, of course, stick more to the actual lore and be faithful to the source material, I thought maybe this might be a good thing. Obviously, Warner Brothers has changed leadership. It's in the hands of David Zaslav right now. We've got a whole new DC universe going on and everything else. So I actually was cautiously optimistic for it. But if Deadline can be believed, and they have reported on this twice now, I believe, well, guess what? This series could end up being DOA because of DEI, ladies and gentlemen. And of course they would in this modern era. And it's one of those situations where this just boggles my mind. I cannot believe Warner Brothers and all of these guys, David Zaslav, most of these guys, are this stupid to release something like this. Now, they said the Batgirl movie was just absolutely bad, and of course it still had a race swap in it and all of that kind of stuff. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if this actually gets officially confirmed from Warner Brothers, this series is DOA, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even going to be close how much of a disastrous dumpster fire this is going to be, and it's going to damage the brand just like Disney has damaged Marvel and Star Wars as well. Thank you, Bob Iger. You've done such a wonderful job. David Zaslav, I thought you were smarter than this, but apparently maybe you don't have as much control over there as what we all thought, and you're maybe not as aware of what's actually going to not go over very well with the actual audience out there in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to share this article from thatparkplace.com because we'd much rather give them the credit than, of course, go over to a Deadline article and give them ad revenue. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls. We're on our way. We're inching our way closer and closer to 1,700, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Do you believe this is going to be true? Do you believe this is going to end up being confirmed by Warner Brothers, considering the fact that Deadline keeps repeating this exact same story? Or do you think this might end up being just nothing more than the mainstream legacy media out there lying to us and trying to wish something into existence? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from our dear sweet thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet Montanero as well. Harry Potter HBO series officially race swaps Snape. Papa Isuti finalizing deal to become iconic J.K. Rowling character, according to Deadline. Mind you, take this with, I don't know, maybe not take this with a grain of salt since it's coming from Deadline. I don't know how to take this at all in any way, shape, or form. I just, like, if this ends up getting confirmed by Warner Bros., I'm just like, I'm just going to go off. You're going to see Angry Common Nerd come back, and I'm just going to be like, you are the stupidest, dumbest people that have ever been charged of a franchise ever if you do something like this in the current climate that we're dealing with right now. Like, this is just going to boggle my mind. So HBO's upcoming Harry Potter series has made a controversial casting decision, with Deadline confirming that Papa Isuta has been selected to portray Severus Snape. This move fundamentally alters one of J.K. Rowling's most explicitly described characters, disregarding the author's detailed portrayal in favor of Warner Brothers Discovery's ongoing push for so-called inclusivity. Yeah, one of those fun little buzzwords that means they're going to turn it into something woke absolute garbage. So Severus Snape is one of the most vividly outlined characters in the Harry Potter across multiple books, as well as the pale skin along with greasy black hair and a hooked nose. In the 6th book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Rowling specifically refers to Snape's pigment. Snape's pale face, illuminated by the flaming cabin, was suffered with hatred, just as it had been before he had cursed Dumbledore. You dare use my own spells against me, Potter? It was I who invented them. I, the Half-Blood Prince, which of course was the big reveal because we all thought it was Voldemort initially, because, we know he's an actual half-breed, but apparently Snape is one too. So obviously they can talk about Alan Rickman, who brought Snape to life in the original films and embodied the vision with precision, becoming one of the franchise's most beloved actors. I even loved him. Even though I didn't love the movies, I loved Alan Rickman as Snape. He was absolutely incredible. Now, rather than staying true to the source material, HBO has opted for a race swap version of the character, seemingly more concerned with modern Hollywood trends than remaining faithful to Rowling's world. And this is one of the funny parts too, because remember the scene where James literally hangs Snape from a tree? Yeah, how's that going to be portrayed in this show? Oh, we know where all of this kind of stuff goes down. And this is one of the things I want to check out here from this real quick. Let's look at this real quick from Deadline, because I want to see what they actually say here. What are you doing? Oh, really? No thanks. Go away. So what do we got here? I want to see this exclusive. HBO is closing in on 2 more characters. Profile series adaptation. I want to see where this is optioned. Gemma McKeer, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so sources tell Deadline. Additionally, Emmy nominee Papa, one of the first actors identified for the series, is closing his deal to portray Severus Snape. I hear mind you. Okay, this is from Nelly Andrava. Okay, yeah, trust me, I'm pretty sure there's probably pronoun in her bios. This is all I hear. Remember, this is all rumor and speculation. I know everybody's been running with this since Saturday and over the weekend and everything else, but this is all still rumor and speculation, right? John Lithgow admitted it to Screen Rant. We know he is confirmed as Dumbledore, but this is once again Deadline saying, says I hear. Right? I hear the deal is close to being done. This has not been actually confirmed in any way, shape, or form. But considering some of the changes that J.K. Rowling has allowed in the Harry Potter universe out there, it probably wouldn't surprise anybody. But like I said, this could be one of the dumbest mistakes they've absolutely could ever make in any way, shape, or form. Warner Bros. Discovery's latest casting choice has been framed as they move forward to be more inclusive. Not according to anybody over there at Warner Bros., strictly according to this person who probably has pronouns in their bio over there at Deadline. I'm just saying, this might be them wishing this into existence to be completely fair. An agenda that has been creeping into the franchise ever since the stage play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child cast a black actress as Hermione Granger. It's a stage play. Like, a million different people have been cast as a million different characters that don't look exactly how they're described in the source material or how they would show up. I mean, there's black people that have played like Henry VIII and stuff like that. So it doesn't bug me quite as much with a stage play because that's how they do that stuff. But like I said, people automatically have an issue with that because we've got so sensitive to them race swapping and gender swapping characters over and over again. So while Harry Potter was a uniquely British cultural phenomenon grounded in Rowling's storytelling, this new inspiration appears to determine its reshaped to fit in ideological narratives rather than expect its origins. So a faithful adaptation, already breaking Rowling's canon, Papa is Sidu's accomplished performer, but about altering Snape on a fundamental identity level to appease a particular audience rather than respecting the source material. And that's the problem with this, right? If this ends up being true, which like I said, this is not confirmed by anybody over there at Warner Brothers or anybody over at HBO Max. This is strictly Deadline saying, I hear it's true, right? That's literally all this is. So everybody out there going, da 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 da, and yada yada yada. I'm glad you're making all your videos. I am so glad everybody's talking about this stuff because Warner Brothers needs to hear from the fans that they do not agree with this, right? This has not been an announcement from Warner Brothers. This has only been an announcement from Deadline, and they even say, I hear. They do the article like it's all confirmed, like it's all a done deal and everything else, and then, of course, they put the little asterisk and they go, I hear at the end. This is no better than My Time to Shine Hello reporting on things until it actually comes from David Zaslav's mouth or someone else over there officially at Warner Brothers. This is all strictly rumor and speculation is all this is. So where does the Harry Potter reboot go from here? With John Lithgow already confirmed as Dumbledore, making him the first American to play a major Harry Potter role, which although he did play Winston Churchill and didn't, from the clips I've seen, didn't do a half bad job doing an English accent. It's just John Lithgow's got such a unique voice that it's John Lithgow with an English accent, right? Like you can tell it's him. I'll be really curious to see what he pulls off for Dumbledore out there, but he also said he's going to be working with voice acting coaches for like the next few months before everything gets started, so that way he can really nail down the voice and all that kind of stuff. So I hope he ends up doing it. I hope he ends up doing a good job. But now with Snape's casting breaking another long-standing element of the books, it raises concerns over how much of Rowling's vision will actually remain intact. And like I said, that's what we've got at this point, right? This isn't officially confirmed by Warner Brothers. This is just Deadline being Deadline. Somebody that looks like they probably have pronouns in their bio just based on their little profile picture right here. I mean, the haircut tells you all you really need to know, boys and girls. So if this is true, this is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire for Warner Brothers, and it'll be one of the stupidest decisions in casting history, especially right now with the complete and total cultural shift that we have seen. Go woke, go broke exists for a reason, and doing identity politics over actually sticking to the source material is what woke actually is. And that they race swap Snape in this series, that's exactly what this is, because there's no reason to do it. Everybody's going to remember Alan Rickman. We had our dear sweet Marine out there that was everybody's fan. Andrew Driver, which was everybody's fan favorite casting out there. I mean, the guy looks just like a younger version of Alan Rickman. He's practically a clone. Like, you couldn't have got a better casting than that out there for it. But of course, they didn't do that, or they haven't listened to us, at least according to what Deadline hears, right? So at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait and see on this one. I'm glad everybody's making their voice's opinion, and you should make your voice opinion heard. That's why a lot of the time this stuff can leak out from studios, right? Studios will intentionally leak things out to the general public so that way they can gauge how everybody feels about things. And we have seen changes happen before in the past when they have done this. So It's only a matter of time before we find out whether or not this is truly going to be confirmed, but as of right now, Deadline sure seems to be reporting it as they believe it is absolute fact and a done deal. And I'll tell you right now, HBO Max and Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, and everybody else involved with this, if you do this, I promise you, diversity, inclusion, and equity will lead to one thing and one thing only. Your series will be DOA. So listen to the fans and make Deadline look like a fool and change your mind.